Shabbat Shalom. Our scripture reading for today is Yohanan, or John, chapter 1, verses 26, 28, and 29. Yohanan answered them, saying, I baptize with water, but there standeth one among you whom you know not. These things were done in Beth Arbor, beyond Jordan, where Yohanan was baptizing. The next day Yohanan, seeing Yeshua coming unto him, and said, Behold, the Lamb of Yah, which taketh away the sin of the world.
Shabbat Shalom, family. Our selection today, Behold, the Lamb of Yah.
The oracles of the UCI, 1 Peter chapter 4, verses 7 through 11. But the end of all things is at hand. Be you therefore sober, and watch unto prayer. And above all things have fervent love among yourselves, for love shall cover the multitude of sins. Use hospitality one to another without grudging. As every man has received the gift, even so minister the same one to another as good stewards of the manifold grace of Elohim. If any man speak, let him speak as the oracles of Elohim. If any man minister, let him do it as of the ability which Elohim gives, that Elohim in all things may be glorified through Yahshua the Mashiach, to whom be praise and dominion forever and ever. Amen. Ephesians chapter 4, verses 29 through chapter 5 and verse 4. Let no corrupt communication proceed out of your mouth, but that which is good to the use of edifying, that it may minister grace unto the hearers. And grieve not the Holy Spirit of Elohim, whereby you are sealed until the day of redemption. Let all bitterness and wrath and anger and clamor and evil speaking be put away from you with all malice. And be you kind one to another, tender-hearted, forgiving one another, even as Elohim for Yahshua's sake has forgiven you. Be you therefore followers of Elohim, as their children, and walk in love, as the Mashiach also have loved us, and has given himself for us an offering and sacrifice to Elohim for a sweet-smelling savor. But fornication, and all uncleanness, or covetousness, let it not be once named among you as becomes saints. Neither filthiness, nor foolish talking, nor jesting, which are not convenient, but rather giving of thanks. Ecclesiastes chapter 5, verses 1 and 2. Keep your foot when you go to the house of Elohim, and be more ready to hear than to give the sacrifice of fools, for they consider not that they do evil. Be not rash with your mouth, and let not your heart be hasty to utter anything before Elohim. Elohim is in heaven, and you upon earth, therefore let your words be few. Exodus chapter 23, verses 20 and 21. Behold, I send an angel before you, to keep you in the way, and to bring you into the place which I have prepared. Beware of him, and obey his voice. Provoke him not, for he will not pardon your transgressions, for my name is in him. Revelations chapter 3, verses 20 through 22. Behold, I stand at the door and knock. If any man hear my voice and open the door, I will come in to him and will sup with him, and he with me. To him that overcomes will I grant to sit with me in my throne, even as I have also overcame and am sat down with my Father in his throne. He that has an ear, let him hear what the Spirit says unto the churches.
All right, Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Which is peace on Yahweh's holy Sabbath day. Welcome to another holy convocation that Yahweh has enjoined unto us here in this body of Yahshua. Now, Revelations 18, verse 2 and 4 says, And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the great is fallen, and is become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird. For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication. And the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, Come out of her, my people, that you be not partakers of her sins, and that you receive not of her plagues. Now, there are several things that we have to understand in this writing. Most of the times when people refer to that, they see, come out of her, my people, so they automatically think, okay, we need to get out of this country. We went through this before. Our people came out of Egypt, but couldn't get Egypt out of them. We fail to realize what he's actually dealing with. You have to let her out of your heart. Then you can actually get away from her. It doesn't matter if you move somewhere, you still take all her thought process, her business dealings, the way she operates, you take all of that with you somewhere else. So we don't really understand the statement, come out of her, my people. It says, for all the nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication. What is that? Her business dealings. She has spread her business dealings all over the globe, to the point that right now we are in a war that is really a business deal. We don't really understand what's going on. This is all a war of oil producing countries. Nobody else is even in this. Only oil producers. And we have not, we have allowed people to tell us that it's about this or it's about that. This is about money. You have to consider something. We have a businessman as a president. I want you to let that sit there for a second. He's never been a congressman. He's never been a governor. He's never been a senator. He's never been any of those things. He is a businessman. He knows absolutely nothing about politics, and he tells you he doesn't do politics. What he does is business. What we are in the midst of is a business war. This is about Babylonian business. And if people have to die, then people have to die. But the bottom line, this is a business transaction. And other things happen to force people into deals. This is what we're in the midst of. No matter what we're hearing about this person angry about this person, look at all of the entities that are involved. And some entities have been drawn into this by means that don't even make sense. So we have to consider this wrath of her fornication that all the nations have drunk of. What have we done? We have all taken in her ways of dealing in business. And it has affected and infected us. While we say and believe that we are innocent, we have taken on her business ways as well. Let's begin today's sermon in Leviticus chapter 19. And today's sermon is entitled, Rebuking the Business of Babylon. Rebuking the business of Babylon. And we're going to begin in Leviticus chapter 19 and verses 9 through 18.
And when you reap the harvest of your land, you shall not wholly reap the corners of your field, neither shall you gather the gleanings of your harvest. And you shall not glean your vineyard, neither shall you gather every grape out of the vineyard. You shall leave them for the poor and stranger. I am Yahweh, your Elohim. You shall not steal, neither deal falsely, neither lie one to another. And you shall not swear by my name falsely, neither shall you profane the name of your El. I am Yahweh.
Now, we are watching things of that nature all the time when business dealings are done by some individuals and then they proclaim that they are the holy people. Yahweh's name is blasphemed. See, we don't even understand what's happening here. Whenever someone proclaims to be a person or one of the children of Israel and then mishandle someone in a business dealing, you have blasphemed his name. But now, if you say that, then another term is used against you. See, this is why we don't understand why the weight is heavy on us when we begin to enter in this business world. We start picking up their ways. And we say, well, we're not as foul as they are. So now we're judging our righteousness by their wickedness. And if that's your scale, you'll always come up on top. Because we're not going to ever be able to match the wickedness of Wall Street. Go ahead.
You shall not defraud your neighbor, neither rob him. The wages of him that is hired shall not abide with you all night until the morning.
Babylon business encourages you to rob your neighbor. Babylon business will hold your money so you can't pay the person who you got to work with you. Mm-hmm. Babylon business helps you do that. But then we have to make sure that we don't take the introduction of Babylon and then we add to it. See? Then we start doing a little other stuff too, because then we watch our other counterparts and how they operate, and then we take on some of those ways. This is part of Babylon. See, we don't understand why the nations are going to be so upset at the coming of Yahshua. It's not just about him redeeming the children of Israel. You got to understand what they're going to lose. They're going to lose their business model. Because he's coming to set righteous judgment on the earth. How do you think they got rich? By non-righteous judgment. They're not upset about you getting redeemed. They don't care nothing about that. He gonna mess up their money, man. What do you mean I can't rob these people no more because he here? They ain't thinking about you. This is about their business. And Yeshua is bad for business. Now, Jesus is good for business. See, I drive by the parking lot of the people that preach Jesus. I see all kind of spaceships. I see cars that lift up before they take off. And when I go to the places that preach Yeshua, there's been some different kind of cars in that parking lot. Some of them you got to hit it a few times. You got to hit it. You got to hit it. They said, pat it. Pat it in now. All right, I'm going to pour the gas right in the carburetor. It's different kind of business where they preach Yeshua. It ain't the same where they preach them other people. And those other people that say they the people but won't use the name, oh, man, you should see the cars out there. It's cars I didn't know they made. Right. It's a different kind of business going on. Okay, go ahead.
You shall not curse the deaf, nor put a stumbling block before the blind, but shall fear your Elohim. I am Yahweh. You shall do no unrighteousness in judgment. You shall not respect the person of the poor, nor honor the person of the mighty, but in righteousness shall you judge your neighbor.
Babylon business is all about showing favor to the people who are in your special class. This is why we are encouraged to join these groups, fraternities, sororities, secret societies, so that we can get special treatment. We don't want to be treated like a regular man. We don't want to be treated fair and honest. We want to be treated better, so we join one of Lucifer's groups. We even let them haze us so that we can join their group, so that we can get unrighteous judgment. Let's just be honest. We're not going to get righteous judgment. We're joining so we can get unrighteous judgment. So we get a ticket, we go into court and start throwing up our signs like we in a gang. What you doing? Hoping I can get unrighteous judgment. Hoping that dude gonna recognize what sign I'm throwing up, and if he one of those, then he gonna say, all right, let's drop the fine down and you get on out of here. That's what we're doing. Holding our hands a certain way, standing and posing. What is this cat doing? Well, walk like an Egyptian then. What the hell are you doing? Right. He's doing signs. And if they recognize who he is, they'll drop the fine. Unrighteous judgment. Half the time, we know we did whatever it was. We know we were speeding. When them folks gave me that ticket, they said you was speeding. I said, man, just tell me how much it is. Ain't no need us going back and forth, because I was definitely doing that. What you said I was doing, I think I was going faster than that, but you didn't catch that part. I think you caught me on the upswing. I understand. Because on the downswing, I tell you, I made that thing lay down. I ain't going to even lie to you. Now, how much is it? Can I pay you now? Let's just go ahead and get this out the way. Ain't don't need to be going to court, wasting y'all time, my time. First of all, you need this money. Because this is how you keep this little open town running here. This is how you keep this little town running. You need this money. I don't need to be arguing with you. I pay a ticket, and then they sent another ticket. They said, well, this is a super speeder ticket. I said, damn, there's another one. They said, no, this ticket is separate from the first ticket. And if you don't pay this ticket, we're going to take your license. I said, well, how much is it? Let's go ahead and pay them people their money. Because they are in business to make money. They made sure they put the little speed trap on the downswing. So you go on a certain speed and you up the hill, and as soon as the hill come down, the speed drop dramatically, and Smokey is sitting right over there in the cut. I looked Smokey in his eyes when I came back. No! He gone. Wasn't no question of doubt. I was like, all right, everybody straight in there. Because he gone. He gone. Ain't no question about what's going to happen. And this is their business. This is how they have set it up. Ain't no need of me going in there arguing. This is Babylonian business and every part of it. They hide the law so you can break it, so they can charge you a tax, which they won't tell you it's a tax, but it's basically a tax so that they can get your money. Everything is set up that way. Pay these people their money and move on. Go ahead, brother. Where we at?
Verse 16. You shall not go up and down as a talebearer among your people, neither shall you stand against the blood of your neighbor. I am Yahweh. You shall not hate your brother in your heart. You shall in any wise rebuke your neighbor and not suffer sin upon him.
Right. Sometimes we think we're being good to our neighbor, so, I don't want to say nothing because it might cause a problem. Yeah, but you're letting your neighbor walk in sin. You think you making things easier for him, you're making it worse. Because you know what's happening? His sins are stacking up. His sins are stacking up. Why? Because you won't say nothing. Well, I don't want to disrupt anything. All right. But you're getting your neighbor deeper in trouble with Yahweh. His sins are stacking up because you don't want to inconvenience yourself by saying something to them. So then we have to ask ourselves, do you love your neighbor or do you love yourself? Are you comforting the people or are you seeking to be comforted? Because, if we don't say nothing and we don't disrupt anything, then now we're comfortable. But to say something, to rebuke our neighbor, now we're in an uncomfortable spot. So what are you seeking? Go ahead.
You shall not avenge nor bear any grudge against the children of your people, but you shall love your neighbor as yourself. I am Yahweh.
All right, let's go to Matthew chapter 20. See, although this is reported to be a Christian nation, I mean, the God of America is supposed to be Jesus. But you find out that they don't operate by any of the words in red. Now that's absolutely ironic. The one thing about when they wage war against these other countries, they say that these people, they worship this and they worship that, and we need to go against these people. Well, hold on. This is supposed to be a Christian nation. So then we should be abiding by the things that Christ said. The things that Christ said ain't red. How is it? You want to upset somebody? Open this book and start saying the stuff in red. I'm talking about you find your deepest, hardcore, staunch Sunday morning representative. Open the book. Anywhere in the New Testament. Find what's written in red. Don't even think about it. Just do it like a roller deck. Just go. Right here. All right. Start anywhere. Watch how many words you get to say before they're angry at you. I thought this was a Christian nation. Why are you so upset when I read the words in red? Go ahead, bro.
Matthew chapter 20 and verse 1. For the kingdom of heaven is like unto a man that is an householder, which went out early in the morning to hire laborers into his vineyard. When he had agreed with the laborers for a penny a day, he sent them into his vineyard.
So then there was a business transaction. There was an agreement. All right. This is the contract. See, today that you got to pull out papers and sign contract. Back then, your word was your bond. So when you agreed that this is the work I'm gonna do, this is the payment that you're gonna pay me for the work. Boom, the contract is sealed. We didn't need no amendments, no addendum. You didn't need nothing. You didn't need none of that. It was an agreement. Your agreement meant something. Go ahead.
And that's how the people in the land still deal amongst one another, not with everybody.
Right. They deal with themselves like that. They deal with everybody else differently. Why? Because they got a different book that say that they don't have to deal in rightful business dealings with you. See, this is the danger of reading out of another book. The Torah says we must deal with a just weight and a just balance. But then another book was introduced that says, oh, you can treat other people in an unrighteous manner. You don't have to pay them their money. You don't have to pay them on time. You don't have to do right by them. And now, since there is another book that tells them that they only deal rightfully, business-wise, with other people who are within their circle. Yahweh said you must deal with the stranger just like you deal with your brethren in business. You can't rob him. Now, because Babylon tells us it's okay, this is what we do. Go ahead.
And he went out about the third hour, and saw others standing idle in the marketplace. And he said unto them, Go you also into the vineyard, and whatsoever is right I will give you. And they went their way.
Now, here is the problem. Whatsoever is right. Now, there is an imagination going on. Now, the whole day work was a penny. That was the ones at the beginning. Now we have the imagination. Whenever you get somebody's imagination and what they're supposed to be getting, you are going to have a problem. Because you are now based on your weight is now based on their imagination. What if they think that picking up one leaf is worth $1,000? You have done that by not sealing the deal. Now, they already knew what the other guys was. They got 1 penny a day is the whole day. He's not guaranteeing them he's going to give them a penny. They ain't started the whole day. Go ahead.
Again he went out about the 6th and 9th hour, and did likewise. And about the 11th hour he went out, and found others standing idle, and says unto them, Why stand you here all the day idle? They say unto him, Because no man has hired us. He says unto them, Go you also into the vineyard, and whatsoever is right, that shall you receive. So when evening was come, the master of the vineyard says unto his steward, Call the laborers, and give them their hire, beginning from the last unto the first. And when they came that were hired about the 11th hour, they received every man a penny.
Right. Now, the imagination of the first part has now gotten activated, because now they have another thought process going on, because they want to see the other individuals paid less. They want to see them paid less. Go ahead.
When the first came, they supposed that they should have received more. And they likewise received every man a penny. And when they had received it, they murmured against the good man of the house.
They murmured against the good man of the house once they got it, because they supposed they should have received more. Not because he had done anything wrong, but because they saw what he paid the other individuals. And they said, look here, I work harder than that. Now, the strange part is, these first ones were the ones that an agreement was actually made. They were actually told what they were going to get paid. Now, it seems that the other ones would have had the issue, because they were not told what they were going to be paid. But they accepted whatever was given unto them. Now, the first ones want to renegotiate the contract because what they have seen. Go ahead.
Saying, These last have wrought but 1 hour, and you have made them equal unto us, which have borne the burden and the heat of the day? But he answered one of them and said, Friend, I do you no wrong. Did not you agree with me for a penny?
So then the question becomes, what did you agree to? See, we'll take a job. Them people will pay us. We get about 3-4 checks. Then after that, we start complaining. It's like, what's happening? What did you agree to? Man, they got me doing such and such and such and such. And then what you said you were going to do? And then what they said they were going to pay? Go ahead.
Take that as yours, and go your way. I'll give unto this last, even as unto you. Is it not lawful for me to do what I will with mine own? Is your eye evil because I'm good?
If he is paid according to the contract, then the rest of that money belongs to him. He pay whoever he want to pay. As long as he pays the contractual amount that was agreed to at the first, then everything else is his to do what he will. Because he has abided by the first original agreement. But see, Babylon business mixes all this up. and we start picking it up. This is why in Babylon they tell you don't discuss pay at the job. And see, why you didn't tell me not to discuss pay? Because see, they don't want you to know that guy working right next to you is getting paid almost double the amount that you are. See, Babylon business sets up for an unequal and unjust system. Go ahead.
So the last shall be first, and the first last. For many be called, but few chosen.
Right. Let's go to 1 Thessalonians chapter 4. 1 Thessalonians chapter 4, and let's read verses 1 through 12.
Furthermore, then we beseech you, brethren, and exhort you by the Adonai Yahshua, that as you have received of us how you ought to walk and to please Elohim, so you would abound more and more. For you know what commandments we gave you by the Adonai Yahshua. For this is the will of Elohim, even your sanctification, that you should abstain from fornication, that every one of you should know how to possess his vessel in sanctification and honor, not in the lust of concupiscence, even as the Gentiles which know not Elohim, that no man go beyond and defraud his brother in any matter, because that the Adonai is the avenger of all such, as we also have forewarned you and testified.
He has to let the Gentiles know you have a tendency of fraud. Just go ahead and deal with your right. Look now, we're not going to give y'all all the command. You have to ask yourself now, why would somebody say, look, we're not going to bother y'all with all the commandments. Look, don't defraud one another. Why is that one of the ones that he's got to talk about? Now, you know which things we done told you, but look, defraud you not one another. You have to wonder where we pick up finders, keepers, losers, weepers. You do know that's not biblically sound, right? You do know that, right? You do know if we find something that belongs to somebody else, you do know that it is our duty to return that. You do know that just because you found that does not mean that that is yours. You do understand that, right? Okay. Go ahead.
Verse 7, for Elohim has not called us unto uncleanness, but unto holiness. He therefore that despises not man, but Elohim, who has also given unto us his Holy Spirit. But as touching brotherly love, you need not that I write unto you, for you yourselves are taught of Elohim to love one another. And indeed you do it toward all the brethren which are in Macedonia. But we beseech you, brethren, that you increase more and more. And that you study to be quiet, and to do your own business, and to work with your own hands as we commanded you, that you may walk honestly toward them that are without, and that you may have lack of nothing.
That you may walk honestly toward them that are without, and that you may lack of nothing. How do we walk? Let's go to Acts chapter 5. See, there's certain things we're ready for our redemption. We say it all the time. Oh, we're so ready for Yahshua to come. Well, hold on. There's certain people that operate in business that ain't going to be so happy about Yahshua's return. We didn't get the message. This is the same Messiah that went into the temple and turned over the changing tables of money. You don't understand. He came from the beginning. He was disrupting their money. He's going to do the same thing again. And this whole thing is about consolidating money. Out of nowhere, there's a altercation with a country who has the biggest storage supply of oil. And every altercation is connected to it. Why is this altercation all in one place? Go ahead.
You know, Elder, you mentioned earlier about him being a businessman, and that's the mindset that we see of corporate mergers or corporate takeover. Because what did he say to Cuba? We can do a friendly takeover.
Yeah. Yeah, he's making business deals. So he's like, look, we don't actually have to come down there. You know what I'm saying? Because, I mean, you think about a business takeover. You know, we were once getting water from Crystal Springs, and then another company bought out Crystal Springs. And then, for a little bit, that's why at one point, we ended up with all these water bottles. They was letting us know, hey, look here, these the last ones right here. Mm-hmm. So what you talking about? Well, see, another company bought us out. We only going to have this kind of water going forward. So, another company that done bought us out. They didn't have to send their people in there. It was just paperwork happened at the main office. Next thing you know, the logo on the trucks changed. The water delivery changed. They go, hey, what happened here? Well, we're just gonna take it over. In other words, we are going to secure all the resources concerning it. It's a business deal. They're making business deal. And he's just, using the weaponry to make the deal. I mean, what? I mean, is this not what the mobsters do when they come into a neighborhood and they said, I've been watching this bakery. Y'all been making a lot of money here. A lot of bagels. A lot of bagels. This is nice. Well, we think you're making so much money. And for your continued protection, because you're going to need protection. What I need protection from? Me. Now, if you pay me such and such, I, out of the goodness of my heart, will protect you from me. Interesting. There's a whole lot of people paying protection fees to do business. What do y'all think is happening? Go ahead.
Acts chapter 5 and verse 1. But a certain man named Ananias with Sapphira his wife sold a possession and kept back part of the price, his wife also being privy to it, and brought a certain part and laid it at the apostles' feet.
Right. All manner of fraud is fraud. Once we decided this belongs to Yahweh, once we start dipping in it, it's fraud. From the minute it was no longer yours because you said it out of your mouth, it is now fraud because you dipped in it. Now, some of us say, well, I'm glad I don't defraud Yahweh. All right. What did you agree that you were going to do for Yahweh? Take the money aside. Why don't you take the money and put it over here? What were you supposed to do? You were going to sweep the floor? You were going to mop? All right. Have you continued doing that? Okay, well, you defrauded your God. Keep reading.
But Cephas said, Ananias, why have Satan filled your heart to lie to the Holy Spirit and to keep back part of the price of the land? While it remained, was it not your own? And after it was sold, was it not in your own power? Why have you conceived this thing in your heart?
Why have you conceived this thing in your heart? What changed? And these are the things that we don't pay attention to. Something changes that causes us to be okay with defrauding either our neighbor or our Elohim. What changed? What made you do this thing in your heart? Go ahead.
You've not lied unto men, but unto Elohim. But Ananias, hearing these words, fell down and gave up the ghost. And great fear came on all them that heard these things. And the young man arose, wound him up, carried him out, and buried him.
You see how fast a burial take place? You realize they didn't have to come up with $10,000. They didn't have to go get no casket. They didn't have. We spend more money on dead people than on the live ones. Sometimes folk crying because somebody dead and they be like, you really miss him? Be like, no, I just know how much the casket gonna cost. Oh my goodness, you're not even worried about it. It's the money they're gonna hit you for just to put the person in the ground. Poor people was able to bury people like it wasn't nothing. Now they tell us we need a $10,000 casket. Then some of us, we got to show out. We got to get a see-through casket. Got hydraulics on it to bounce up and down. Got colors and stuff. We got disco lights in there. Go ahead.
It was about the space of 3 hours after, when his wife, not knowing what was done, came in.
Uh-huh.
And Cephas answered unto her, Tell me whether you sold the land for so much.
Uh-huh.
And she said, Yes, for so much.
All right. She agreed with her husband. She agreed to defraud her Elohim. But she don't see her Elohim. What she sees is regular men. This is where we are not able to see what we're doing. Yahweh ain't standing across from them. A representative of Yahweh is standing across from them. Go ahead.
Then Cephas said unto her, How is it that you have agreed together to tempt the spirit of the Adonai? Behold, the feet of them which have buried your husband are at the door, and shall carry you out. Then fell she down straightway at his feet, and yielded up the ghost. And the young men came in, and found her dead, and carrying her forth, buried her by her husband.
Right. See, we've had a problem with Babylonian business even before we got into Babylon. We let Babylon into us. Go ahead.
And great fear came upon all the church, and upon as many as heard these things. And by the hands of the apostles were many signs and wonders wrought among the people. And they were all with one accord in Solomon's porch. And of the rest, there's no man joined himself to them, but the people magnified them. And believers were the more added to the Adonai, multitudes both of men and women, insomuch that they brought forth the sick into the streets, and laid them on beds and couches, and at the least the shadow of Cephas passing by might overshadow some of them. There came also a multitude out of the cities round about unto Jerusalem, bringing sick folks, and them which were vexed with unclean spirits, and they were healed, everyone.
Now, you have to wonder, is this a coincidence that he talks about defrauding one another? Then he goes down to the healing and the miracles, which ironically today is how they defraud individuals in the church. They come down, they do a fake pass out, all right? Then everybody else start throwing $1,000 from the balcony. They do a fake pass out. So he discusses fraud. Then he goes into healing, which is exactly how they're defrauding on Sunday morning. Yahweh be on a whole nother level. They be like, you'll get here later. But this is the biggest of the fraud. Somebody act like they can't walk. Somebody put their hands on them. They jump up and run across the room. Now everybody start throwing out money. Fraud. He didn't just mention those two back to back for no reason. Let's go to Exodus chapter 16. You know how much Miracle Spring Water bought Jimmy Swaggart all kind of Rolls Royce. You get them prayer cloths, Miracle Spring Water. Oh, people bought that stuff. Oh, they bought so much. Well, Pastor Kearney had that puss in a prayer package. Oh, yeah. So if you stay up too late, you're going to run into Pastor Kearney at night. And that pastor, and that personal prayer package. You know when you watch BET too long, and then he come up, and you know when he get it, because he come on, God! You be like, oh, you were dozing off. But he come on right away, and he tell you, hey, you know it's going to be some Miracle Spring Water for sale with that personal prayer package. Now you have to pay for the personal prayer package. This is that PPP. And PPP still getting brothers locked up right now. They got them PPP loans, and his brothers going to prison right now. Right. Okay. Let's Exodus 16, start at verse 1.
And they took their journey from Elim, and all the congregation of the children of Israel came on to the wilderness of Sin, which is between Elim and Sinai, on the 15th day of the second month after their departing out of the land of Egypt.
All right, so on the 15th day of the second month after departing out of the land of Egypt. Now, what does Yahweh have on his mind? Go ahead.
And the whole congregation of the children of Israel murmured against Moshe and Aaron in the wilderness.
All right, so what are they murmuring about in the second month? Go ahead.
And the children of Israel said unto them, would to Elohim we had died by the hand of Yahweh in the land of Egypt, when we sat by the flesh pots, and when we did eat bread to the full.
So we arguing about a meal. In the second month, we already committing mental suicide.
We should have just died.
What?
We had all this food available to us when we was a slave. And you gonna come out here and give us freedom. Freedom to starve.
What?
And when we did eat bread to the full, for you have brought us forth into this wilderness to kill this whole assembly with hunger. Then said Yahweh unto Moshe.
So what did Yahweh do? He withheld some of the things that they were accustomed to. See, Babylon has got us on a schedule. See, we don't eat for 2 days. We think we're going to die. We eat meals and never even finish eating the meal. We say we're hungry, and there's 1/3 of the plate left, and we throw it away. We have the luxury to say,
You know, my eyes was bigger than my stomach.
that's that statement that we make when you actually have an abundance of food. So much of food that your eyes said, make the plate this high.
But your stomach said, we can't eat, no, we ain't got no place to put all that.
That's a luxury that some people don't have. So Yahweh is intervening into this thought process. So he's got to break up our normal schedule. We don't really understand what he's doing right now. Go ahead.
You know, Elder, and we here are going to suffer from that the worst because we got more all-you-can-eat places than any other country. So we already have that all-you-can-eat mentality.
Most definitely. But we'll supersize the fry and the drink. We are not only not hungry and not thirsty. We pour out most of that drink. We let the ice melt and say,
Oh, this is nasty. All the ice is melted.
go ahead, pray.
Then said Yahweh unto Moshe, Behold, I'll rain bread from heaven for you, and the people shall go out and gather a certain rate every day, that I may prove them, whether they will walk in my law or no.
They didn't understand. He was already proving them when he held it back. Now you have his word that he is proving you. He was already doing that to start. See, now that he got them out of Egypt, now it's a situation where he's got to deal with his people. Understand, he says, I am married unto Israel. So what's happening? This is a spousal trust exercise. How much does my spouse trust me? We don't really understand what's going on right here. See, at the first sign of something not right, we go to nagging. Well, Yahweh said, well, you know what? I'm going to give you the same thing you gave me. Soon at the sight of something not right, I'm going to let somebody nag you the way you nag me. Go ahead.
And it shall come to pass that on the 6th day they shall prepare that which they bring in, and it shall be twice as much as they gather daily. And Moshe and Aaron said unto all the children of Israel, At evening then you shall know that Yahweh has brought you out from the land of Egypt. And in the morning then you shall see the glory of Yahweh, for that he hears your murmuring against Yahweh. And what are we, that you murmur against us? And Moshe said, This shall be the thing. Yahweh shall give you in the evening flesh to eat, and in the morning bread to the full. For Yahweh hears your murmurings which you murmur against him. And what are we? Your murmurings are not against us, but against Yah.
He said in the morning, Yahweh going to give you chicken and rolls. So we murmur unto him. He said, all right, I got a meal for you. I'm going to give you a 3-piece with a biscuit. To this day, what you want?
You know what? You go and give me a 3-piece and a biscuit.
I mean, why not? It's the one that almost got us cut off from our Elohim, that 3-piece and the biscuit. You might well go ahead and get that 3-piece and biscuit because you almost lost your salvation for it. You get a little honey for the biscuit. Go ahead.
And Moshe spake unto Aaron, say unto all the congregation of the children of Israel, come near before Yahweh, for he has heard your murmurings. And it came to pass, as Aaron spake unto the whole congregation of the children of Israel, that they looked toward the wilderness. And, behold, the glory of Yahweh appeared in the cloud. And Yahweh spake unto Moshe, saying, I have heard the murmurings of the children of Israel. Speak unto them, saying, at evening you shall eat flesh, and in the morning you shall be filled with bread, and you shall know that I am Yahweh your Elohim. And it came to pass that at even the quails came up and covered the camp. And in the morning the dew lay round about the host. And when the dew that lay was gone up, behold, upon the face of the wilderness there lay a small round thing, as small as the hoarfrost on the ground. And when the children of Israel saw it, they said one to another, it is manna, for they knew not what it was. And Moshe said unto them, this is the bread which Yahweh has given you to eat. This is the thing which Yahweh has commanded. Gather of it every man according to his eating, an omer for every man, according to the number of your persons, take you every man for them which are in his tents. And the children of Israel did so, and gathered some more, some less. And when they did meet it with an omer, he that gathered much had nothing over, and he that gathered little had no lack. They gathered every man according to his eating. And Moshe said, let no man leave of it till the morning. Notwithstanding, they hearkened not unto Moshe, but some of them left of it until the morning. And it bred worms and stank. And Moshe was angry with them.
So what's happening? In this spousal trust exercise, remember, he started out by not giving them something. Then he gives them something and they automatically start to hoard it. He know who doesn't trust him. We don't really understand what's happening. We don't really understand what's happening. We think this is one thing. No. This is a spousal trust exercise. So then you have to ask yourself, what kind of trust do we have? Because eventually Yahweh realized that this version of Israel, he won't be able to trust them because they don't trust him. He's got to let a new version of them be born and then enter into a spousal trust agreement with them. So you have to ask yourself, what version of you are you? The old you wasn't trustworthy. The old you didn't trust nobody because you were not trustworthy, so you can't trust nobody else. He trying to help make the new you that you can trust him and he can trust you. Which version of you is he dealing with? Because, all it takes is something familiar for us to go back to the old us. Let us go back in the old hood. We done entertained our old self within minutes. We pull up into the block and turn into Sasha Fierce. What happened?
Oh, I know I'm a lady over there, but I'm a hoe out here. Oh, let's twerk it.
Wait, hey! What you doing? What are you doing? All it took was 2 turns and go down the hill and you entertain your old hoe? Which version of you is he dealing with? He's got to figure out, what spouse do I have here? Who is she? So he's conducting this exercise. He's not asking her who she is. Ain't y'all learned by now we don't never tell the truth about that? That's them interview lies.
So tell me about you.
This is where we had a little small talk, what we talking.
What's your favorite color?
We don't even know our damn favorite color. Everything we say is lie.
What you say? My favorite color blue.
Oh yeah? Well, why you wear brown all the time?
I do. Damn, I ain't even noticed.
You asking us? We don't know. Yahweh's trying to see what kind of spouse does he have. Go ahead.
And they gathered it every morning, every man according to his eating. And when the sun waxed hot, it melted. And it came to pass that on the 6th day they gathered twice as much bread, 2 omers for one man. And all the rulers of the congregation came and told Moshe. And he said unto them, This is that which Yahweh has said. Tomorrow is the rest of the holy Shabbat unto Yah. Bake that which you will bake today, and seed that you will seed, and that which remains overlay up for you to be kept until the morning. And they laid it up till the morning, as Moshe bade, and it did not stink, neither was there any worm therein. And Moshe said, Eat that today, for today is the Shabbat unto Yah.
But
Today,
you got to trust to do that. See? You have to trust to do that. See, Yahweh understands who he can use, who has trust in him. When he asked Moshe, he said, I'm going to give you this miracle. Drop down your staff, it's going to turn to a snake. Now grab the snake by his tail. Hey, hold on now. Hold on. Yahweh, can we talk? First of all, I don't play around with snakes. But there's one thing I know about playing around with snakes. The bite comes from the head. Okay? What you asking me to do is to grab a snake by its tail. Guess what's still moving? When I grab him by his tail, the part with those fangs in it. Yeah, I know. You trust me or not? Grab him by the tail. Go ahead.
For today is a Shabbat unto Yah. Today you shall not find it in the field. 6 days you shall gather it, but on the 7th day, which is the Shabbat, in there it shall be none. And it came to pass that there went out some of the people on the 7th day for to gather, and they found none. And Yahweh,
See, they don't trust their spouse. They don't trust him. Because there was an organized system in slavery. They ate at a certain time. They had a schedule. So, to prove his wife, he had to break up her schedule. You ain't gonna eat when you normally eat. Let's see if you trust me or not. Go ahead.
and Yahweh said unto Moshe, How long refuse you to keep my commandments and my laws?
How long? He realized that it was never going to stop. Everything he did to them, because of their trauma, they then operate according to their trauma. Trauma brings drama. You look at all of the drama, it's because we still dealing in the old traumatized version of us. Their past trauma will not allow them to operate without drama. He eventually realized that he has to divorce this version of his spouse and marry the new version of his spouse. Because this one won't let the trauma go. This one operates, everything operates according to its former trauma. We 20 years in, we still have flashbacks about things that ain't happened in 18. Still operating according to former trauma. And we think because we ain't said nothing about it that we let it go. Your spirit ain't let it go. Let's go to Luke chapter 3. And coming out of Babylon, we're going to have to learn how to trust Yahweh. Because I can tell you something. Yahweh don't care nothing about our schedule. Them things we're accustomed to, I can guarantee you, them going to be the first thing he take. Because those are things that we use to not count on him. Those are the things that we use to not call on him. When we got a credit card with room, We ain't calling Yahweh. What do you call Yahweh for? I got Amex. I have Visa and MasterCard. I don't need to call him yet. Now, once we get that card to the max, we start looking. And we start warming up.
Is this thing on? Yahweh, you still around?
Now we want to check. I just want to check where he is at. Where you checking now for?
I'm looking at my balance.
Oh, okay. Okay, that car filling up. Yeah, now see, when we got unlimited supply, Yahweh got to call us. You can't call nobody. Once that money run out, he can't keep us off the line. Yahweh, I just wanted to see how you was doing today. Wait a minute. Now you calling? Amazing. Amazing. So our contact is directly connected to your balance at Bank of America. That is interesting. So if I want to hear from you, I need to make sure this number is below a certain threshold. This is amazing. As you wish, my child. That's what you ask. I don't know if you think that's what you ask, but that's what you ask. You don't think that's what you ask, but he's watching your actions. I only hear from you when this balance goes here. All right? Y'all go down there and make sure that balance stay down here. Go down there and make sure the balance stay. Well, that's the only time I hear from them. And I like to talk to them. You know what I'm saying? Them up there, you know, I like to talk to them. You know what I'm saying? I love the company. But they don't call me when their money right. Okay. All right. So keep their money wrong and we talk long. All right. Go down there. Y'all on the job. Go take care of the business. The man just can't wait to come down here and take your money.
He said, oh, no.
And what we do?
The devil is at me.
No. They like, no. I didn't come from the devil. No, Yahweh sent me.
No. I'm not one of them. I'm one of these.
No. This was sanctioned by Yah.
No, he told me to go right now. He gave me your account number. Look at it right there. There go your password right there. Look at it. I ain't steal nothing. He gave it to me. He told me to go right in there and wreak havoc.
Yeah. Oh, that's authorized. He just won't hear from me. Is that so bad? You ever make something and it forget about you? You ever gave up everything for something and as long as it's doing well, it don't contact you? Huh. Go ahead, Bray.
You know, the irony is he allowed us to have families. So we can feel that same pain.
You better believe it.
Because we know what our children are. As long as they got the money in the account, you ain't hearing from them.
Hey, bro. Hey, he just show you what you did.
Mm-hmm.
He said, oh, did that hurt your feelings? Oh, that baby. Oh, look at him. He's so tender.
Right. Your turn.
Hey,
Your turn. Didn't I just say that you are God's? All right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's understand the feeling of a God. Take care of something, raise it up, teach it everything, show it everything, and watch it stop calling you as soon as it get happy. Go ahead, Prince.
Not only stop calling you when they're in them positions, they murmuring because they got back talk.
Yeah.
They got their chests out. You can't say nothing to them.
Hey, bro, it's our turn. It's our turn. I remember as a youth, I said some things to my mama. And
You know, you get them, one day you're going to have some kids act just like you.
them like, it's like voodoo or something that they be putting on you. Whenever your mama look at you and she turn her hand, you got to look the other way. You got to dodge that. You know, she's shooting curses out of that.
You going to have kids
Be like, what? Hey, don't be throwing that at me. Go ahead.
Luke chapter 3 and verse 1. Now in the 15th year of the reign of Tiberius Caesar, Pontius Pilate being governor over Judea, and Herod being tetrarch of Galilee, and his brother Philip tetrarch of Iturea, and of the region of Trachonitis, and Lysanias, the tetrarch of Abilene, Annas and Caiaphas being the high priest, the word of Elohim came unto Johanan, the son of Zacharias, into the wilderness. And he came into all the country about Jordan, preaching the baptism of repentance for the remission of sins. And it is written in the book of the words of Esaias the prophet, saying, the voice of one crying in the wilderness, prepare you the way of the Adonai, make his path straight. Every valley shall be filled, and every mountain and hill shall be brought low, and the crooked shall be made straight, and the rough ways shall be made smooth. And all flesh shall see the salvation of Elohim. Then said he to the multitude that came forth to be baptized of him, O generation of vipers, who have warned you to flee from the wrath to come? Bring forth therefore fruits worthy of repentance, and begin not to say within yourselves, we have Abraham to our father. For I say unto you, that Elohim is able of these stones to raise up children unto Abraham. And now also the axe is laid unto the root of the trees. Every tree therefore which brings not forth good fruit is hewn down and cast into the fire.
What kind of fruit have you produced? Yahshua's a businessman too. He said that which does not profit him, he cast it away. Go ahead.
And the people asked him, saying, what shall we do then? And he answered and said unto them, he that has 2 coats, let him impart to him that has none. And he that has meat, let him do likewise.
No, I need all that stuff. Matter of fact, I built a whole nother closet to hold all these coats.
I looked one day, I had a coat closet, and I couldn't put nothing else in there because it was filled with coats. And I realized I ain't worn none of these coats in I don't know how long. But you know, that hoarding part of us say, you know, one day I'm gonna go to Alaska. All right, now let's take inventory. All right, you 50 now. You 50 years old. How long it's been? Have you ever been to Alaska yet? So chances are you going is 0 to 0.
But I need this Eskimo coat. Because there's a slight chance that I might go to Alaska one day.
Right. Go ahead.
Then came also the publicans to be baptized, and said unto him, Master, what shall we do? And he said unto them, exact no more than which is appointed you.
Now, what is he telling them? Now, you have a job that is not conducive to righteousness and salvation. You got a bad job. I'm telling you now, do not charge more than you're supposed to charge. Okay, go ahead.
And the soldiers likewise he demanded of them, saying, and what shall we do? And he said unto them, do violence to no man.
What is this? This is, once again, connected to their job. See, we like to separate our salvation and our work. This is directly connected. Exact no more. Hey, don't charge no more. Don't take no more than what you're supposed to take. Then he go to the soldiers. Hey, do violence to no man. Wait a minute. It's my job as a soldier. Right. Watch how you operate. Go ahead.
Neither accuse any falsely, and be content with your wages.
Oh, now that's the hardest thing for us to do right there. Be content with your wages. You try and get more money. More money, more money, more money. This is our whole thing. You know, I left that job because I want to get more money. We didn't think about more peace, more stability. All we thought about was more money. And then we go for more money and realize, well, see, more money don't last that long. So then we went for more money, didn't realize that we didn't have more stability. We just had more money. Go ahead.
That was verse 14.
That was it. Let's go to 2 Kings chapter 5. See, sometimes Yahweh can give you a job making less money, and somehow you made more money. We haven't figured that out yet. And the jobs that I done made the least amount is the time when I had the most amount of stuff. And it was absolutely confusing. Because when I had the most money, it seemed like it flew out the back. It came in the front door and went out the back window. I couldn't hold it but a second. I mean, it was hot. It hit my hand hot. Whoa, 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 whoa. I had to get rid of it. Whoa, 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 whoa. God Almighty. That was hot. Couldn't hold it. That money slowed down. You're like, wait a minute. Now I got to handle this better. Now you start getting stuff, and it's on a steady pace now. Not the ball till you fall method. See, that's where we start when we're young. We just, I'm ball till I fall. And fall you shall. Fall you shall. Look at you see this mark right here? Yeah, I fell. That scar's still there. I fell. Oh, yeah. But I tell you what, I balled till boy. But the fall was great. The fall was something to write home about. Okay, all right. Go ahead, bro. 2 Kings chapter 5, and start at verse 15.
And he returned to the man of Elohim, he and all his company, and came and stood before him. And he said, Behold now, I know that there is no El in all the earth, but in Israel. Now therefore, I pray you, take a blessing of your servant. But he said, As Yahweh lives, before whom I stand, I'll receive none. And he urged him to take it, but he refused. And Naaman said, Shall there not then, I pray you, be given to your servant 2 mules, burden of earth? For your servant will henceforth offer neither burnt offering nor sacrifice unto other gods, but unto Yahweh.
Now, saying, I'm going to be a better version of myself because of this. Go ahead.
In this thing, Yahweh pardon your servant.
But let me tell you something, though. But I got a job. Let me tell you about this job. Go ahead.
That when your master goes into
when my master
goes into the house of Ramon to worship there, and he leans on my hand, and I bow myself in the house of Ramon. When I bow down myself in the house of Ramon, Yahweh pardon your servant in this thing.
Pardon me in this thing. I know that you are Elohim. You have done this great thing for me. But I have a job. And in my job, I'm going to have to do something that might be looked at as disrespectful toward you. I'm asking you to pardon me. Go ahead.
And he said unto him, Go in peace. So he departed from him a little way.
So he accepted. He accepted. I understand, that's your job. All right. Do no more than your job requires. See, some of us will be like, well, you remember I looked down there and Naaman was in there in the house of Ramon. So, I brought my whole family down there, man. We had a party. He already done got a pardon just to do his job. Now, you saw something, you thought you knew what you were looking at. Now you off in here worshiping the God because you thought that's what he was doing. Go ahead.
But Gehazi, the servant of Elisha, the man of Elohim, said, Behold, my master has spared Naaman the Syrian, in not receiving at his hands that which he brought. But as Yahweh lives, I'll run after him and take somewhat of him.
Right. See, a lot of times we figure, you know what? He got it. This is what allows us to go further in dealing in business. You know what? They got it, man. We need to go get this. My God done something for him, and he ain't, accept this money. We need to go get this money. Go ahead.
So Gehazi followed after Naaman. And when Naaman saw him running after him, he lighted down from the chariot to meet him and said, Is all well? And he said, All is well. My master has sent me, saying, Behold, even now there be come to him from Mount Ephraim 2 young men of the sons of the prophets. Give them, I pray you, a talent of silver and 2 changes of garments. And Naaman said, Be content, take 2 talents. And he urged him, and bound 2 talents of silver in 2 bags with 2 changes of garments, and laid them upon 2 of his servants, and they bare them before him.
So now in this business transaction, because now we're dealing in business now. All right. The miracle, the healing, that has already taken place. Now, at least you wouldn't take any payment. And sometimes you're looking at a principle of a thing. Now, I need to make them understand that they can't buy my services, so I can't take no money for this. Okay, but now this individual goes and says, all right, let's get this money. He says, oh, be content. I'm not just going to give you what you ask. I'm going to give you some more. So now here's a backdoor deal. And he says, my master has sent me. He ain't sent him. This is a backdoor business deal. And he think he has the man of Elohim. He just sat him aside. Now he used the power of the man of Elohim to get himself something. Go ahead.
And when he came to the tower, he took them from their hand and bestowed them in the house. And he let the men go, and they departed.
Now, the irony is, Gehazi is going to get the money, but Gehazi didn't perform the work. Gehazi believes that there should be some money, so he's made this backdoor deal, but he himself didn't do the work. Go ahead.
But he went in and stood before his master. And Elisha said unto him, Whence come you, Gehazi? And he said, Your servant went no whither.
I mean, this is lie number 2. Because first he lied and said, he sent them. I ain't sent you. Then he asked him, well, where you went? I ain't went nowhere. Go ahead.
And he said unto him, Went not mine heart with you, when the man turned again from his chariot to meet you? Is it a time to receive money and to receive garments, and olive yards, and vineyards, and sheep, and oxen, and men servants, and maid servants? The leprosy therefore of Naaman shall cleave unto you, and unto your seed forever. And he went out from his presence a leper as white as snow.
Now, so then we know that a leper is white as snow. So what did he look like before? So he was turned white after he had a bad business deal. Now that's rich right there. And all these business deals that we watching, we want a piece of the pie. Getting a piece of that pie and making that bad business deal, not only does it says the leprosy shall cleave unto him, it says, and your seed. So somewhere, there's a whole line of white Israelites. That deep right there. Now, how you know who they are? He said that's going to cleave to them forever. He's a servant of Elisha. So what did he look like before? See, we're not encouraged to ask those kind of questions. Let's go to Nehemiah chapter 5. But see, we saw an opportunity to advance in business. What happened if it affect you and your family forever? That business deal that we decide we're going to make. Nehemiah chapter 5, let's read verses 1 through 13. See, Babylon has spread her business everywhere. Everybody has to deal with Babylon business. This is why BRICS was set up, to fight the control that this country and its Western allies has over the entire world. This is the whole reason for the setup. Go ahead.
Nehemiah chapter 5 and verse 1. And there was a great cry of the people and of their wives against their brethren, the Yehudims. For there were that said, We, our sons and our daughters, are many. Therefore we take up corn for them, that we may eat and live. Some also there were that said, We have mortgaged our lands, vineyards, and houses, that we might buy corn because of the dearth.
We have mortgaged our houses. This is the beginning of our life. We all have mortgages. They own their land. The mortgage itself is a problem. We start out with a mortgage and we think that's normal. Go ahead.
There were also that said, We have borrowed money for the king's tribute, and that upon our lands and vineyards.
So they had to borrow money to pay the tax. Go ahead.
Yet now our flesh is as the flesh of our brethren, our children as their children, and lo, we bring into bondage our sons and our daughters to be servants.
They are brought in owing money, so they begin their lives in debt. That is the bondage. Go ahead.
And some of our daughters are brought onto bondage already. Neither is it in our power to redeem them, for other men have our lands and vineyards. And I was very angry when I heard their cry and these words. Then I consulted with myself, and I rebuked the nobles and the rulers, and said unto them, You exact interest, every one of his brother. And I set a great assembly against them. And I said unto them, We after our ability have redeemed our brethren, the Yehudims, which were sold unto the heathen. And will you even sell your brethren?
See, we pick up Babylonian business. See, we hang around these individuals, and sooner or later, we start making the same business deals that they make because we're trying to compete with them. Go ahead.
Or shall they be sold unto us? Then held they their peace, and I found nothing to answer. Also I said, It is not good that you do. Ought you not to walk in the fear of our Elohim because of the reproach of the heathen, our enemies? I likewise, and my brethren and my servants, might exact of them money and corn. I pray you, let us leave off this interest. Restore, I pray you, to them, even this day, their lands, their vineyards, their olive yards, and their houses.
Wait a minute. But these things were legal according to Babylonian business. They're illegal according to Yahweh's law. So here we have a discrepancy. A discrepancy between what is morally right and what is legally right. Go ahead.
Also the 100th part of the money, and of the corn, the wine, and the oil, that you exact of them. Then said they, We'll restore them, and will require nothing of them. So will we do as you sayest. Then I called the priests, and took an oath of them, that they should do according to this promise. Also I shook my lap, and said, So Elohim shake out every man from his house, and from his labor, that performeth not this promise. Even thus be he shaken out, and emptied. And all the congregation said, Amen, and praised Yah. And the people did according to this promise.
All right. He says, if y'all don't take care of this business going forward, let you lose all the things concerning your own house. Let's go to 1 Samuel chapter 8. See, we didn't just have a problem worshiping the gods. See, once you deal with all of this Israel falling back into worshiping, then we get caught right there. And we just think all we got to do is change how we worship. No. Because to those gods are also connected some business dealings. And we want to drop the God but keep the business dealings. That ain't going to work. They make big money through their gods. You ain't gonna bring all that unto Yahweh and think it's okay. 1 Samuel chapter 8, and let's start that at verse 1.
And it came to pass when Samuel was old that he made his sons judges over Israel. Now the name of his firstborn was Joel, and the name of his second, Abiah. They were judges in Beersheba. And his sons walked not in his ways, but turned aside after lucre, and took bribes and perverted judgment. Then all the elders of Israel gathered themselves together and came to Samuel unto Ramah, and said unto him, Behold, you are old, and your sons walk not in your ways. Now make us a king to judge us like all the nations. But the thing displeased Samuel when they said, Give us a king to judge us. And Samuel prayed unto Yah.
Now, give us a king like all the other nations. We want what we are surrounded by. We don't consider the first thing that we want to do when we get some money and we say, we're going to move out of the hood and we're going to move up in the suburbs. We're going to get a better house, better community, better all these things. And then you realize now you've also put your kids right next to these other people. And you don't realize they kind of strange. The house look good. Neighborhood look good. Man, them people over there are strange. Now, you have to keep contact with your kid because now your kid is communing with strange every day. We don't consider that. So we're not just picking up the gods, we're picking up their ways. Go ahead.
And Yahweh said unto Samuel, Hearken unto the voice of the people in all that they say unto you, for they have not rejected you, but they have rejected me, that I should not reign over them. According to all the works which they have done since the day that I brought them out of Egypt, even unto this day, wherewith they have forsaken me and served other gods, so do they also unto you. Now therefore hearken unto their voice, howbeit yet protest solemnly unto them, and show them the manner of the king that shall reign over them. And Samuel told all the words of Yahweh unto the people that asked of him a king. And he said, This will be the manner of the king that shall reign over you. He shall take your sons and appoint them for himself, for his chariots, and to be his horsemen, and some shall run before his chariots. And he will appoint him captains over thousands, and captains over 50s, and will set them to air his ground, and to reap his harvest, and to make his instruments of war, and instruments of his chariots. And he will take your daughters to be confectionaries, and to be cooks, and to be bakers. And he will take your fields, and your vineyards, and your olive yards, even the best of them, and give them to his servants. And he will take the tenth of your seed, and of your vineyards, and give to his officers, and to his servants.
He's going to take all this stuff from you now. This is the king that you asking for. I'm telling you what you asking for, because you don't really understand what it is you're asking for. Go ahead.
And he will take your men servants, and your maid servants, and your goodliest young men, and your asses, and put them to his work. He will take the tenth of your sheep, and you shall be his servants. And you shall cry out in that day because of your king which you shall have chosen you. And Yahweh will not hear you in that day.
Yahweh will not hear you. This is what you've asked for. I gave you what you asked for. Don't come calling me back. If he take the tenth of your sheep, he got a sheep tax. He invented his own sheep tax. Now, understand that you still owe Yahweh his tenth. All of this is on top of that. Go ahead.
Nevertheless, the people refused to obey the voice of Samuel. And they said, No, but we shall have a king over us.
Right. We shall have a king. I don't want to hear none of that, what you got to say. This is what we want. Now, I want you to go to the next graphic, and I want you to read this article here. Now, there are two headlines. One of them comes from the Wall Street Journal. It says the Trump administration set to receive $10 billion fee for brokering the TikTok deal. But I want to read this other article, and it says Trump's $10 billion TikTok brokerage fee is just the tip of the iceberg. Read that article.
On Friday, the Wall Street Journal reported that investors in the brand new entity created to oversee content moderation on TikTok will reportedly pay a $10 billion fee, or 70% of the company's value, to the U.S. Treasury as payment for the Trump administration's role in brokering the pact.
So there's a brokerage fee of $10 billion. Go ahead.
Not only is this pay-to-play arrangement with the federal government unprecedented, it also smacks of possible corruption. Investment bankers typically receive less than 1% for the same service. President Trump is once again pushing the law where nobody dared to go before, and doing so with impunity. The implications for democracy and the rule of law are profound. The deal arises from a 2024 statute mandating TikTok's Chinese owner, ByteDance, either shut down its U.S. operations or sell it to an American-based company. Lawmakers are concerned that a company tied to the Chinese government collecting the data of roughly 135 million American users posed national security concerns. After the devisement deadline passed, Trump issued an executive order directing the Attorney General not to enforce the law and to unilaterally extend the statutory deadline for compliance. Investors in the new entity, which is called TikTok USDS Joint Venture LLC, include the software giant Oracle, the private equity firm Silver Lake, and the Abu Dhabi-based artificial intelligence company MGX.
Now, there's a lot of money being made within these business deals here. Go ahead.
The group is led by Larry Ellison, chairman and founder of Oracle, one of the world's richest men.
And you have to understand where these people and how they connect back to the Israelis. So understand who has just gotten control over a large amount of social media. Go ahead.
Who hosted a $100,000 per head fundraiser for Trump in 2020. His son, David Ellison, became chairman and CEO of Paramount Skydance following the Trump-approved $8 billion merger of its predecessor, Skydance Media, and Paramount, owner of CBS News. Ellison later recruited Barry Weiss, founder of the conservative news site The Free Press, to run the network, which has since taken pro-Trump actions that ignited controversies, including killing a 60 Minutes segment on Trump's detention and deportation policies. A CNBC report.
So now the new king that they have is now controlling what gets reported. Go ahead.
A CNBC report reveals the Trump administration has taken equity stakes in at least 10 companies, including 10% of the chip maker Intel and a 5% stake in minerals startup Lithium Americas, agreeing to defer repayment of $182 million in debt that Lithium Americas owes the federal government, and thus the taxpayers on a $200.5 billion loan. The administration is now also a 10% shareholder in another startup called Trilogy Metals.
This is all business dealings. So all of the stuff that we're watching within the operation of conflict, understand they're all being resolved with the signing of papers. But in those signing of papers, a lot of money is being transferred. Go ahead.
Which wants to extract copper and other minerals from a 211-mile road in Alaska. Trump approved the necessary permits along with making a $35.6 million investment of federal money in exchange for part ownership and an option to buy another 7.5%. A similar deal went to USA Rare Earth taxpayer dollars in exchange for an 8 to 16% stake in that company, which aims to open a rare earth mine in Texas and manufacture magnets in Oklahoma.
Hey, they voted in a businessman. He is doing business. He is doing what he's always done. He never claimed to be a politician. This is what they wanted. Go ahead.
The Trump administration has set itself up for possible ownership in a private nuclear reactor developer and a $65 billion defense company that makes rocket motors used in missiles as well.
Now, so war would prove to be very, very lucrative then. if you just so happen to own a company that makes weapons and nuclear things. And then just so happens within the recent conflict, one of them just made an explosion at a nuclear reactor in Iran. So this is interesting. So if you have the means to take out anything that rivals you, your business model is going to soar. Okay, go ahead.
Additionally, its stake in U.S. Steel as a condition for approving its acquisition by Nippon Steel means that Trump can now veto company decisions to close or sell plants, block company name changes, and deny attempts to move its headquarters from Pittsburgh. Although there is a history of the federal government propping up private equity, it has typically been on a temporary basis to resolve economic crisis, as with the 2008 bailout of Chrysler. And unlike the recent Trump deals, that action was specifically authorized by Congress and did not involve any direct ownership of the auto manufacturer. So how is Trump getting away with this? It turns out that there is no law on the books that allows him to use federal money to take equity stakes in private companies as a condition to secure necessary federal approvals. But there's no law clearly banning it either, probably because Congress never had to think about it. Prior presidents apparently didn't think about employing Trump's tactics either, for a host of possible reasons. If the government owns a significant stake in one company, conflicts of interest abound. It could favor its company over competitors, or worse, it could use its leverage to impose political mandates that increase an Oval Officer holds power at the expense of shareholders and taxpayers.
All right, now let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 17. It's funny because the people who are walking around with all those hats on talking about they're going to make the country great again, they don't even understand any of this stuff that's happening. They think one thing is going on and something altogether different is going on, and they're not going to have no part in it. Deuteronomy chapter 17, and let's start at verse 8.
If there arise a matter too hard for you in judgment, between blood and blood, between plea and plea, and between stroke and stroke, being matters of controversy within your gates, then shall you arise and get you up into the place which Yahweh your Elohim shall choose. And you shall come unto the priests, the Levites, and unto the judges that shall be in those days, and inquire, and they shall show you the sentence of judgment. And you shall do according to the sentence which they of that place which Yahweh shall choose shall show you. And you shall observe to do according to all that they inform you, according to the sentence of the law which they shall teach you, and according to the judgment which they shall tell you, you shall do. You shall not decline from the sentence which they shall show you, to the right hand nor to the left. And the man that will do presumptuously, and will not hearken unto the priest that stands to minister there before Yahweh Elohim, or unto the judge, even that man shall die, and you shall put away the evil from Israel. And all the people shall hear and fear, and do no more presumptuously. When you are come unto the land which Yahweh Elohim gives you, and shall possess it, and shall dwell therein, and shall say, I'll set a king over me, like as all the nations that are about me, that you shall in any wise set him king over you, whom Yahweh your Elohim shall choose. One from among your brethren shall you set king over you.
Now, we were already warned when we asked for a king, what kind of king we were going to get, and that king did come from our brethren. Okay, go ahead.
You may not set a stranger over you, which is not your brother. But he shall not multiply horses to himself, nor cause the people to return to Egypt, to the end that he should multiply horses. For as much as Yahweh has said unto you, you shall henceforth return no more that way. Neither shall he multiply wives to himself, that his heart turn not away. Neither shall he greatly multiply to himself silver and gold. And it shall be, when he sits upon the throne of his kingdom, that he shall write him a copy of this law in a book out of that which is before the priests, the Levites.
Because the deal of business is so alluring to degrade your heart, the king who operates in business has to read out of Yahweh's law every day that business does not turn his heart. We don't understand why he got his own copy. Because as he's making these business deals, he starts to turn you. Things start to be okay that was not okay before. See, we don't understand. Sometimes Yahweh has given us something to keep us right. But we want more. But we don't understand that more is going to take down that fence that guards you. Go ahead.
And shall be with him, and he shall read therein all the days of his life, that he may learn to fear Yahweh his Elohim, to keep all the words of this law and these statutes to do them. That his heart be not lifted up above his brethren, and that he turn not aside from the commandment.
That his heart be not lifted up above his brethren. This is what dealing with Babylon and its business does to you. So then, now the king has to keep going back. He deals in business, and he got to come back home and get in this book. Why? Because Babylon going to turn you. Right?
To the right hand or to the left, to the end that he may prolong his days in his kingdom, he and all his children in the midst of Israel.
All right. Let's go to 1 Kings chapter 10. See, we think Yahshua turning over them tables of money was just one thing that was happening in the house of his Elohim. No. He's dealing with way more than that. This is why one of the brothers, Nehemiah, had to go say, look here, you lodge about this wall one more time on the Sabbath, trying to sell something, I'm going to lay hands on you. He had to physically threaten the people, don't come back in here. Because what y'all doing is causing my people to fall. Because you're just hanging on the wall trying to sell stuff to them on the Sabbath. You done learned enough about our ways to know what we don't do. And here you go, standing here, ready to cause us to defraud our Elohim. We done been peaceful as long as we going to be peaceful. Come about on this wall again, and you about to feel these hands. And there's some people that this is the only way that you're going to have peace with them. You either going to have peace or you're going to have a piece of their tail. It's going to be one or these other. Look here. We can have peace the easy way, or you can be in pieces. What you want to do? But don't come back on the wall no more. Go ahead.
And when the queen of Sheba heard of the fame of Shlomo concerning the name of Yahweh, she came to prove him with hard questions. And she came to Jerusalem with a very great train, with camels that bear spices, and very much gold, precious stones. And when she was come to Shlomo, she communed with him of all that was in her heart. And Shlomo told her all her questions. There was not anything hid from the king, which he told her not. And when the queen of Sheba had seen all Shlomo's wisdom, and the house that he had built, and the meat of his table, and the sitting of his servants, and the attendance of his ministers, and their apparel, and his cupbearers, and his ascent by which he went up onto the house of Yahweh, there was no more spirit in her.
It was done deal. Shlomo had so much, she just said, you know what, whatever, I whatever you need. There's no more spirit left in her. He got it like that. That's what we go out and buy stuff for. That's why we put rims on the car. Because we hoping when we pull up, there ain't no more spirit in her. Just whatever that is. What you want to do. I can't. I had morals before I saw you.
Whatever you want to do, just do it. Go ahead.
And she said to the king, it was a true report that I heard in mine own land of your acts and of your wisdom.
I came all the way over here to see it. I ain't believe it. Go ahead.
Albeit I believed not the words until I came, and mine eyes has seen it. And behold, the half was not told me. Your wisdom and prosperity exceeds the fame which I heard.
Right, now we got a whole thing. This is where you get all them. They claim he had a baby with her, and here come the Haile Selassie, and now they got all this other thing. You know, because she said there was no more spirit left in me. They said they had some churn. Go ahead.
Happy are your men, happy are these your servants, which stand continually before you, and that hear your wisdom. Blessed be Yahweh your Elohim, which delighted in you, to set you on the throne of Israel, because Yahweh loved Israel forever. Therefore made he you king to do judgment and justice. And she gave the king 120 talents of gold, and of spices very great store, and precious stones. There came no more such abundance of spices as these which the queen of Sheba gave to King Shlomo. And the navy also of Hiram that brought gold from Ophir.
All right, now stop. Now, you have all of these things where these people are claiming they will see certain carvings in mountains and places around here. And they said, the black people are the native people of this land. They kind of forget that they had ships and they traveled, okay? So now we see something carved in a rock and we say, you see, black people have always been here. The ships, half of the stuff that he's using to build the temple ain't even native to the land. He's getting things imported. Grant?
And the navy also of Hiram that brought gold from Ophir, brought in from Ophir great plenty of almond trees and precious stones.
Uh-huh.
And the king made of the almond trees pillars for the house of Yah, and for the king's house, harps also and psalteries for singers. There came no such almond trees, nor were seen unto this day. And King Shlomo gave unto the queen of Sheba all her desire, whatsoever she asked, beside that which Shlomo gave her of his royal bounty.
And we know Shlomo like anything from foreign. All right, so my guess is when there was no more spirit in her, Shlomo did indulge. Because he like it. All you got to say is it ain't from around here. Shlomo said, I'll take it. Go ahead.
So she turned and went to her own country, she and her servants. Now the weight of the gold that came to Shlomo in 1 year was 636 talents of gold.
Uh-huh.
Beside that he had of the merchantmen, and of the traffic of the spice merchants, and of all the kings of Arabia, and of the governors of the country. And King Shlomo made 200 targets of beaten gold. 600 shekels of gold went to one target. And he made 300 shields of beaten gold. 3 pounds of gold went to one shield. And the king put them in the house of the forest of Lebanon. Moreover, the king made a great throne of ivory, and overlaid it with the best gold. The throne had 6 steps, and the top of the throne was round behind. And there were stays on either side on the place of the seat. And 2 lions stood beside the stays.
Mm-hmm.
And 12 lions stood there on the one side, and on the other upon the 6 steps. There was not the like made in any kingdom. And all King Shlomo's drinking vessels were of gold. And all the vessels of the house of the forest of Lebanon were of pure gold. None were of silver. It was nothing accounted of in the days of Shlomo.
So he had so much gold that silver didn't count. Go ahead.
But the king had at sea a navy of Spain with the navy of Hiram. Once in 3 years came the navy of Spain, bringing gold and silver, ivory and apes and peacocks.
Uh-huh.
So King Shlomo
So
exceeded...
he just wants stuff walking around that they ain't never seen. What that is right there, Shlomo? Oh, you ain't never seen that. You ain't never seen that. So Shlomo was the hot boy of his time. Okay. Go ahead.
You know, Elder, it's interesting. These ships, these Navy ships of Spain, was bringing him all this stuff. So they already knew where we were at.
Of course.
It's them same ships that brought us here.
And them same ships gonna take us back. Right. Yahweh has irony all in the stuff that he deals with. Go ahead.
So King Shlomo exceeded all the kings of the earth for riches and for wisdom.
Right, but all we hear about is Mansa Musa. They want to tell you about how rich he was. They want to tell you all of those things. Wait a minute, my book say Shlomo was so rich, he made shields. These supposed to be things you fighting with. He got them gold. You know how hard it got to be to hide a gold shield in the bushes? Folk don't even want to go to war no more. They be like, no, so we want to kill all them. No, I just want to kill that one. Why? Because that shield gold. But I get that one, I'm going home. I hope y'all do whatever that is y'all doing. But I want that one. Now, I advise y'all to go get some, because look, he got one, he got one, he got one. All I need is one. And my family's set for life. The war is over as far as I'm concerned. Go ahead.
And all the earth sought to Shlomo to hear his wisdom, which Elohim had put in his heart. And they brought every man his present, vessels of silver and vessels of gold and garments.
You don't come to a king empty-handed. So he's receiving all of this for the gift that Yahweh gave him. So the gift that Yahweh gave him is causing him to get substance financially. Go ahead.
And armor and spices, horses and mules, a rate year by year. And Shlomo gathered together chariots and horsemen, and he had 1,400 chariots and 12,000 horsemen, whom he bestowed in the cities for chariots, and with the king at Jerusalem. And the king made silver to be in Jerusalem as stones.
Silver, you just drop it on the ground. It's the same as a rock. There's so much gold that silver is like a rock. You come get somebody silver, what you give me that rock for? Nobody want that. This is how much money he had. Go ahead.
And cedars made he to be as sycamore trees that are in the vale for abundance.
For abundance. We don't understand how valuable a cedar tree. Go into Home Depot. Look for the wood that's cedar. Look at the price of it, and then look at regular wood. And then you're going to go back and buy that regular wood. That's what you're going to do. That's what you're going to do. Now, you're just going to ask, where's the cedar wood? You're going to notice one thing when you get near, you're, man, there's a scent to that cedar. You going to notice something. Oh, you also going to notice the price. It is different. Go ahead.
And Shlomo had horses brought out of Egypt and linen yarn. The king's merchants received the linen yarn at a price.
Wait a minute. Shlomo had horses brought out of Egypt. You say, y'all ain't never seen these kind of cars around here. See, these imported. Y'all like them imports. To this day, it's y'all brought right now. Well, I don't want nothing domestic. Want to get my thing imported. You got it, honestly. It's your king. He doing the same thing. He don't even want his animals to come from. No. Go get me some peacocks. They ain't never seen nothing like this. Go ahead.
Now we still tight on that Egyptian cotton?
Hey, we want all our stuff imported. Hey, we got it honestly. Go ahead.
And a chariot came up and went out of Egypt for 600 shekels of silver, and an horse for 150. And so for all the kings of the Hittites and for the kings of Syria did they bring them out by their means.
All right. So now let's go to 1 Kings chapter 12. And I want you to start that at verse 1.
And Rehoboam went to Shechem, for all Israel were come to Shechem to make him king. And it came to pass, when Jeroboam the son of Nebat, who was yet in Egypt, heard of it, for he was fled from the presence of King Shlomo, and Jeroboam dwelt in Egypt, that they went and called him. And Jeroboam and all the congregation of Israel came and spake unto Rehoboam, saying, Your father made our yoke grievous. Now therefore make you the grievous service of your father, and his heavy yoke which he put upon us lighter, and we will serve you.
Question is, why was their yoke that heavy? With all the money that Shlomo had, why did the people have a heavy yoke upon them? He's got money. He got gold shields. He got stuff covered in ivory. There's so much money that silver don't even count. Why is there a weight on the people? He is rich. And I mean rich, rich. I ain't talking about hood rich. That's a different rich. I mean rich, rich. He got animals. They don't even know what they are. Go ahead.
And he said unto them, Depart yet for 3 days, then come again to me. And the people departed. And King Rehoboam consulted with the old men that stood before Shlomo his father while he yet lived, and said, How do you advise that I may answer this people? And they spake unto him, saying, If you will be a servant unto this people this day, and will serve them, and answer them, and speak good words to them, they will be your servants forever.
All you have to do is treat these people right. They will be your servants forever. Go ahead.
But he forsook the counsel of the old men, which they had given him, and consulted with the young men that were grown up with him.
That's what we want. We want the advice of people who already agree with us. We don't want to ask anybody that might give us a righteous answer. We want the answer that we want. This is why you'll find some people, they ask 8 people. What you think I ought to do? What you think I ought to do? 7 people said don't do it. The 8th person said, if it was me, I'd do it. That's what I'm going to do, child. Now, wait a minute. 7 people told you not to do it. 1 person said go do it. So, in other words, you kept asking until you got to the one that agreed with you. Go ahead.
You know, even in the answer that the older men go, the first thing they said, if you will be a servant unto this people.
Right.
You so high that you can't, you don't want to come down.
Yeah, but he's gotten accustomed to that. See, we're creatures of habit. Where did he get that from? He walked around, his daddy got peacocks. People like, what the hell is this? What the hell is that? He got imported. He got gold shields. He got a gold cup, brother. His drinking cup is gold. Do you understand? There are parts, like even medicine that we take, colloidal silver. Do you understand that having things that's run off of silver and gold actually does things within your own body? He's drinking out of gold cups. So what do you think that do to his children? What do you think that does to all the people who are around? Go ahead.
Verse 9. And he said unto them, What counsel give you that we may answer this people, who have spoken to me, saying, Make the yoke which your father did put upon us lighter? And the young men that were grown up with him spake unto him, saying, Thus shall you speak unto this people that spake unto you, saying, Your father made our yoke heavy, will make you it lighter unto us. Thus shall you say unto them, My little finger shall be thicker than my father's loins.
He answered the wrong answer. So these people have a heavy weight upon them. Shlomo is living deliciously. But the people have a heavy weight on them. Go ahead.
And now whereas my father did lade you with a heavy yoke, I'll add to your yoke. My father has chastised you with whips, but I'll chastise you with scorpions. So Jeroboam and all the people came to Rehoboam the 3rd day, as the king had appointed, saying, Come to me again the 3rd day. And the king answered the people roughly, and forsook the old men's counsel that they gave him, and spake to them after the counsel of the young men, saying, My father made your yoke heavy, and I'll add to your yoke. My father also chastised you with whips, but I'll chastise you with scorpions. Wherefore the king hearkened not unto the people, for the cause was from Yahweh. that he might perform his saying, which Yahweh spake by Ahiah the Shilonite unto Jeroboam the son of Nebat. So when all Israel saw that the king hearkened not unto them, the people answered the king, saying, What portion have we in Dawid? Neither have we inheritance in the son of Jesse. To your tents, O Israel. Now see you to your own house, Dawid. So Israel departed unto their tents. But as for the children of Israel which dwelt in the cities of Yehuda, Rehoboam reigned over them. Then King Rehoboam sent Adoram, who was over the tribute, and all Israel stoned him with stones, that he died.
Wait a minute. He's over the tribute. What was he doing? He was collecting tax money. They killed a tax man. Go ahead.
Therefore King Rehoboam made speed to get up to his chariot, to flee to Jerusalem. So Israel rebelled against the house of Dawid unto this day.
All right, let's go. I'll back up. Let's go to 1 Kings chapter 9. See, living in excess is addictive. So the first thing Yahweh had to do, our people were slaves in Egypt, but he still had to take away their ordinary food to get their attention. And in their eyes, they wasn't in excess. But they realized it when they got out there and they said, we ate bread to the full. He had to take it from them to get their attention. 1 Kings chapter 9, let's start at verse 15.
And this is the reason of the levy which King Shlomo raised. For to build the house of Yah and his own house.
All right. He held a levy, is a tax, is a tribute. Okay? They paid a tax. Now, to build the house of Yahweh, completely understandable. And we get a little questionable. Because now they had to pay a tax to build his own house. All right, but keep reading.
And Millo, and the wall of Jerusalem, and Hazor, and Megiddo, and Gezer.
Wait a minute, now you're just going wild. What are we doing here? Your daddy said build the house of Yahweh, but now he just keeps building. Go ahead.
For Pharaoh king of Egypt had gone up and taken Gezer, and burnt it with fire, and slain the Canaanites that dwelt in the city, and given it for a present unto his daughter, Shlomo's wife.
Wait a minute. So the Canaanite went and burnt this place and gave it to his daughter, Shlomo's wife. Go ahead.
And Shlomo built Gezer.
Wait a minute. So the people also paying the tax to build Shlomo's wife city. What? What we doing? What we doing? Go ahead.
And Beth Haran, the nether, and Baalath, and Tabor in the wilderness in the land. And all the cities of store that Shlomo had.
Wait a minute. The cities of store, these are the cities where he's storing all of these miraculous things that he has gathered. And they need to pay a tax. Because he got to have somewhere to store his gold shields. He needs security. Go ahead.
And cities for his chariots.
I got to park all these cars somewhere. There ain't no room to park these cars over here. So I need a car house. It's a car house. It's just a house for the cars. And each car is different. It's different horsepower because it's a different horse carrying the chariot. Got luxury ones, got sports chariots. These go fast. Okay. He's got a house for those. Go ahead.
And cities for his horsemen.
Somebody got to drive these damn cars. You don't buy no Maybach and drive it yourself. Somebody got to drive this. Go ahead.
And that which Shlomo desired to build in Jerusalem, and in Lebanon, and in all the land of his dominion. And all the people that were left of the Amorites, Hittites, Perizzites, Hivites, and Jebusites, which were not of the children of Israel, their children that were left after them in the land, whom the children of Israel also were not able utterly to destroy, upon those did Shlomo levy a tribute of bond service unto this day.
So then they had to work. So then what does Israel do? If he's using all of these people as for the bond service, Israel's still paying for all his construction. Go ahead.
But of the children of Israel did Shlomo make no bondmen, but they were men of war, and his servants, and his princes, and his captains, and rulers of his chariots, and his horsemen. These were the chief of the officers that were over Shlomo's work, 550, which bare rule over the people that wrought in the work. But Pharaoh's daughter came up out of the city of David unto her house, which Shlomo had built for her. Then did he build Millo.
All right, this is different from Gezer. That was a whole nother city and house. This is a different one right here. Go ahead.
And 3 times in a year did Shlomo offer burnt offerings and peace offerings upon the altar which he built unto Yah. And he burnt incense upon the altar that was before Yahweh. So he finished the house. And King Shlomo made a navy of ships in Ezon Geber, which is beside Elath, on the shore of the Red Sea, in the land of Edom. And Hiram sent in the navy his servants, shipmen that had knowledge of the sea, with the servants of Shlomo.
All right. So they act like we didn't know nothing about the sea until they packed us into the ship and sent us over here. My book say otherwise. Go ahead.
And they came to Ophir and fetched from thence gold, 420 talents, and brought it to King Shlomo.
All right. Let's go to Proverbs chapter 30. So the king is in some strange business. And this business has caused him to mistreat his people. He was given wisdom. He was already rich. But there was no limit to his desire for riches. In the meantime, his people get mistreated. Now Israel is paying a tax. Why? Why do they have this tax? Why didn't we read about this during the days of King David? Why wasn't the people felt like there was this big weight on them during his father? He has relative peace. David fought all the wars. So why is there more weight on them during Shlomo's reign of peace than it was during David's reign of war? Liberty?
But didn't King David also set up the stuff for the building of the temple?
Absolutely, he did. But he said it's going to be a more exceeding magnifical. David said it was going to be magnifical. He said, no, it's going to be even more than that. Because David didn't go get no peacocks. He didn't go get none of those. See, you got building the house, and then you got decoration of the house. So, that's a whole nother budget. That's a whole nother budget right there. Proverbs chapter 30, and let's read verses 1 through 9.
The words of Agur, the son of Yekeh, even the prophecy. The man spake unto Ithael, even unto Ithael and Ukal. Surely I am more brutish than any man, and have not the understanding of a man. I neither learnt wisdom, nor have the knowledge of the holy. Who has ascended up into heaven, or descended? Who has gathered the wind in his fist? Who has bound the waters in a garment? Who has established all the ends of the earth? What is his name, and what is his son's name, if you can tell? Every word of Elohim is pure. He is a shield unto them that put their trust in him. Add you not unto his words, lest he reprove you, and you be found a liar. 2 things have I required of you. Deny me them not before I die. Remove far from me vanity and lies.
All right, now then there's this request made. Go ahead.
Give me neither poverty nor riches.
Wait a minute. I don't want to be rich or poor, because I realize that there's a problem in either angle there. Go ahead.
Feed me with food convenient for me, lest I be full and deny you.
If I get too much, I'm going to deny you. Go ahead.
And say, who is Yahweh? Or lest I be poor and steal.
Wait a minute. If I have too little, then I'm going to act crazy. If I get too much, I'm crazy. If I get too little, I'm crazy. Keep me in the middle so that I don't go left crazy or right crazy. See, there's some things that we don't understand. Give me things that are convenient for me. See, when you have a regular job, it'll keep you coming home at night at a decent hour, pay your bills on time, file your taxes on time. Some of us, the fear of a possible drug test is the only reason we ain't fell off the cliff. Come on now, don't just tell the truth and shame the devil. But see, we see some of the excess that exists in corporate America, and we want a piece of America's pie. It never does occur to us that some of the things that we thought we did on our own was actually because of the system that we developed to maintain our 9 to 5. See, going to work, this is what you say, you know what? I can't hang out too late tonight. I got to go to work in the morning. All right, erase that. What time you going to come home now? Only reason you left the party because you got to go to work in the morning. So there's a whole lot of things that we give credit to ourselves. You don't deserve credit for that. That ain't why you went home. That ain't why you stopped drinking. You erase that, now you got a problem. But see, we want to get into these things. So then we say, you know what? I want to be an entrepreneur. Then you realize ain't nothing telling you to go to bed at night. There ain't nothing that's telling you to stop drinking. There ain't nothing that tells you to stop smoking. Now you also have a situation where, you know what? I can withhold this money if I want to. Wait a minute, you never had that problem when you worked at the plant. See, the plant kept you. You went to work, you came home. There was a small room for unrighteousness. But we say, you know what? I see it's a lot out here in corporate America. And now Babylon business starts to infect us. Then we start making business deals that may turn around and cause us to lose our salvation. We never do think that I could turn around and leave this place because I want to go and make some money and turn around and lose my salvation because I done made some wrong business deals. Shlomo, rich as all get out. Why does his people live like that? You think David was poor? No, David was gathering materials for the house before the house. But his people didn't live like that. Now these business deals has caused him to go foul. To the point the kingdom is definitely taken from him. But let us hear the conclusion of this matter. Let's go to Proverbs chapter 3. See, we think that Yahweh is just coming to make sure that we don't deal with any of these gods. You got to understand, the God of this place is their money. This is the reason for all of their wars. This is the reason for all of their conflict. This is the reason for all of their laws. Everything is about the money. Get their $1 bill. Does not it say God on the back? But you know it's got an image of a different God, though, right? You do understand that it's got the all-seeing eye of Horus. You do understand it's got a pyramid on the back. You do understand they worship their money. You think this is a Christian country. This country worships money. And we have been tricked into worshiping their God. So much that we feel better if we got a pocket full of their gods. Sometimes we cash a check just so we can see the gods.
Put all the gods on the table. Look at that. Woo! You know what? Just give me about 3,000 of these gods. I'm just going to walk around with it in my pocket because it make me walk taller. I'm 5'5", but I feel 6'7" when I put that money in my pocket. I be looking down on stuff and it's taller than me.
How you look down on something taller than you?
Is my money right?
Right. You got a pocket full of gods. Okay. So if Yahweh has to get you to trust him, he's got to separate you from your gods. Proverbs chapter 3. Let's start at verse 1.
My son, forget not my law, but let your heart keep my commandments. For length of days and long life and peace shall they add to you. Let not mercy and truth forsake you. Bind them about your neck. Write them upon the table of your heart.
Right. If it's written in your heart, it's going to come out of your dealings. You can tell what's in somebody's heart by what come out their mouth. Go ahead.
So shall you find favor and good understanding in the sight of Elohim and man. Trust in Yahweh with all your heart and lean not onto your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct your paths. Be not wise in your own eyes. Fear Yahweh and depart from evil. It shall be health to your navel and marrow to your bones. Honor Yahweh with your substance and with the first fruits of all your increase. So shall your barns be filled with plenty, and your presses shall burst out with new wine. My son, despise not the chastening of Yahweh, neither be weary of his correction. For whom Yahweh loves, he corrects, even as a father the son in whom he delights. Happy is the man that finds wisdom, and the man that gets understanding. For the merchandise of it is better than the merchandise of silver, and the gain thereof than fine gold. She is more precious than rubies, and all the things you can desire are not to be compared unto her. Length of days is in her right hand, and in her left hand riches and honor. Her ways are ways of pleasantness, and all her paths are peace. She is a tree of life to them that lay hold upon her, and happy is everyone that retains her. Yahweh by wisdom has founded the earth, by understanding has he established the heavens. By his knowledge the depths are broken up, and the clouds drop down the dew. My son, let not them depart from your eyes. Keep sound wisdom and discretion. So shall they be life unto your soul and grace to your neck. Then shall you walk in your way safely, and your foot shall not stumble. When you lie down, you shall not be afraid. Yes, when you shall lie down, your sleep shall be sweet. Be not afraid of sudden fear, neither of the desolation of the wicked when it comes. For Yahweh shall be your confidence, and shall keep your foot from being taken.
Yahweh shall be your confidence. Our confidence is in their gods. We said, no, I don't trust in their gods. No. We trust in their God. Their God is their finance. You trust in their God. Go ahead.
Withhold not good from them to whom it is due, when it is in the power of your hand to do it.
We said, well, no, I can't do it. See, why? Because we learn from corporate America. You know, you go in there and you say, look, I've been working for 5 years and my pay ain't changed and such. And they say, look, I looked at the finances. It's just not in there for me to give you an increase. It's just not there. And then you see their new Ferrari being delivered later on that day. No, the finances wasn't there for you. This is normal business practices, and we pick up the same thing. And we operate the same way, and somehow think it's different when we do it. It ain't no different. It's Babylonian business. It's the god of the heathen, and we must not worship any of the heathen's god. Go ahead.
Say not unto your neighbor, go and come again, and tomorrow I will give, when you have it by you.
Because that's the way of corporate America. They money transfers in the billions per day. They tell you we need 2 weeks to process your money. What are you talking about, man? Matter of fact, you need to put 2 weeks in the hole. I need to put 2 weeks in the hole, and then you're going to pay me every 2 weeks? So I got to wait 4 weeks? How I'm going to get to work? Borrow some money. I don't have any money. I just started working. Hated it. Go ahead.
Hey, that's the 2 weeks. Let's not talk about that net 30.
Hey. Well, but see, when we get in business, you forget that the woes of business going to come too.
Mm-hmm.
And you wonder why sometimes employers get shysty. Because you're looking, there's a whole bunch of money here. Well, wait a minute. They got to pay for the tires. They got to pay for the upkeep of the vehicles. They got to pay for all of these things. And see, we don't understand. They're not paying for this out their own money. See, they know a side of business that we ain't learned yet. They went and got a loan for that. See, they're not using our money. See, there's entrepreneurs and then there's entrepreneur niggas. And see, the entrepreneur niggas try to do it all out of their money, right? So then when it don't work right, now we got to rob Peter to pay Paul.
Yep.
See, we didn't get no business loan. We got a mama loan and an uncle loan and a cousin loan. All right? We didn't put down no business plan and get no loan. No. See, them entrepreneur niggas, when it's time, they ain't never got your money. They got a story for you.
So you had said we were going to get paid today? Well, let me talk to you for a second.
What? No. Anytime it's time to get paid and there's a story, there's a problem. There's a problem. Why we got so then you want to know, all right, well, okay, so we're gonna do this. How much is it? Well, what's gonna see it's gonna cost you this much. Hey man, hey, forget the equation. Entrepreneur nigga, how much is this gonna cost? How much am I gonna make? See, there's a difference. See, we learn that eventually. See? And you learn that especially when you become an entrepreneur nigga. See, when it fall on you and you realize, wait a minute, I don't think I crossed the T and dotted the I. See, my first thing, I started being one of those independent operator of a truck. And boy, hey, I made some money. And then I made a miscalculation one day and drove up a driveway that my truck couldn't fit in, and then my tires just spinning. They in the air. They spinning, but the truck ain't going nowhere. So now I got to, because this is my truck, I got to pay for the tow truck. It cost $550 for him to get me out this driveway, and it took about 5 minutes. He put the hook on, he lifted me up, back up 4 inches, and dropped me back down. He said, that'll be $550. And that's when I learned about entrepreneur niggas. I looked in the mirror and I saw him. There. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
Verse 29. Devise not evil against your neighbor, seeing he dwells securely by you. Strive not with a man without cause, if he has done you no harm. Envy you not the oppressor, and choose none of his ways. For the froward is abomination to Yahweh, but his secret is with the righteous. The curse of Yahweh is in the house of the wicked, but he blesses the habitation of the just. Surely he scorns the scorners, but he gives grace unto the lowly. The wise shall inherit glory, but shame shall be the promotion of fools.
All right, you finished that, brother?
Yes, sir.
All right. I do want to remind you guys about our calendar. Hopefully they show the graphic there. And pay attention to those dates as well. This is why you guys should get your own calendar. If you want one, send us a email. It's $25 if you buy it in person, $30 if we need to ship it. And like I said, that is just breaking even on making it. But it helps us stay in line with what it is that we are doing. And I think we may keep putting up the month that we're in so you can at least see ahead of time. Because, it's amazing how many calls we get the night of. Like, we'll probably get a call the 30th to ask us something about the 31st. And then they want to do a whole bunch of things right there. No. No. Pay attention to the things that we have coming up. The same way we would do if we were going to deal in any kind of heathen activity. You ironed your clothes the night before. Don't play with me. Don't play in my face. Don't play in my face. Don't play in my face. Okay? All right? But that's all that we're going to do for today. Remember the Sabbath to keep it holy. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.